What is going on, my friends? Today we're talking about one very sweet strategy to face bosses if you're a complete beginner, even if you don't have Klassic Ermac, because as you're currently seeing, I was battling about 190 Dark Queen Tower, which isn't really an easy fight for beginner for many reasons, but the biggest reason is the fact that they all had Dark Mantle, which basically means that they have 25% chance to avoid damage from your special attack, freezing you in the process and then killing you in the process. So this fight is extremely annoying. But you don't have Klassic Ermac, you have to deal damage, right? And your Johnny tries special one, he gets frozen, he gets killed. So you can imagine this fight can take you hundreds of attempts, tens of attempts. Let's not get to hundreds, but let's say tens of attempts if you're a beginner. However, I almost managed to beat it within 10 attempts. And how did I do that? It is easy. I use this same team, this strategy. As you can see, Monk doesn't have anything, no equipment whatsoever. This particular guy has 2 equipments, but he never used them because he dies immediately. I want him to die right off the bat. And this is the equipment I gave to Johnny Cage. As you can see, nothing special. But the important thing is that Johnny Cage doesn't have any, and I mean he doesn't have any block breaker. So how can I possibly do that if I'm not able to break their block? How can I possibly do damage? It is simple. I saw this first long time ago in a Legend's video. But the point is, you're using 2 talents. The Spirit of Vengeance, I knew it long time ago that this talent can do damage to bosses. The point is, you die, and there is 20% chance to remove 20% damage of the opponent's current health. So in a way, it is the best to die and this thing to trigger once the boss is 100% health, because if this is the case, then you're going to take away 20% from his current health, which basically means you're taking 20% from his max health. However, this is not the only thing. Look at this, Shouting Last Stand. When your character is the last character that's standing, you gain 1 bar of power and 75% from blockable attacks for 10 seconds, which is absolutely busted. This unblockable attack basically means that you don't require block breaker. If you want to fight like special ones, then basic attack special ones. However, if you don't want to do special ones, for instance, if you're facing MK11 Jade, if you're facing Assassin Jade, you can go to X-Ray. You're going to ask, how can you possibly do X-Ray? Because I don't even have Radhammer, look at this. Alright, let's break it down. You get 1 bar of power thanks to Balance Kenshi, you see? All Spec Ops teammates start with 1 bar of power. I gain another bar of power once Monk dies. There we go. Upon that, each of his teammates receive plus 1 bar of power. And I get another bar of power thanks to the talent that we just reviewed, the Shaolin Last Stand. So the moment Johnny Cage is the last man standing, he's going to have an X-Ray. So from this point on, you can choose whether you want to go ahead and use X-Ray if you're fighting against MK11 Jade, for instance, or let's say Jason, Nightmare Jason, or you want to go ahead and just do special ones over and over again. Remember, you're going to have 10 seconds unblockable attacks. This is super OP. You can do a lot of punishment in 10 seconds, trust me. So at the end of the day, this strategy works like a charm. I'm going to showcase how it works just in a second so you can see actual footage. There is no real drawback of this strategy, to be honest with you. It's extremely versatile. It can only become better. For instance, if you want to give Combat Cup Johnny a Radhammer, you can go ahead and replace Balance Kenshi by Klassic Ermac. Why is that super important? Because Klassic Ermac should be your starter, and the moment he dies, he explodes. And you can take advantage of that and simply click on Monk while Ermac is exploding. Reason being, by doing that, you're guaranteed that Monk is going to tag in second, Monk is going to die, and then Combat Cup Johnny is going to tag with 3 bars of power. Because the only drawback, actually, the only drawback of this strategy is the fact that sometimes you cannot really quickly tap fast enough to Kenshi. So Monk dies, and you have no choice that Combat Cup Johnny tags in. And you don't really want this to happen. You want Combat Cup Johnny to tag after both Monk and Balance Kenshi are dead. But again, sometimes Monk dies so fast that you cannot even click on Kenshi and you end up with Johnny Cage tagging in. It's not the end of the road, you can just buy some time, then tag back to Monk, letting Monk die, and then Johnny Cage is going to be the last man standing. But at the end of the day, this is probably the only drawback of this strategy, and the way to fix it is by using Lyri Ermac. And if you don't require to start with X-Ray, then the 3rd bar of power is not really that important, and you can replace the Radhammer with anything that you have at your disposal. In my particular case, I would use the Wrestling Jax Star Jaxophone. Reason being, it's giving me 66% boost in the Dark Queen Tower, so I want to do as much damage as possible before I go down. And this was my strategy, because if I didn't use this particular tactics with this defensive setup, it was super difficult fighting 190. They were evading all the time, they were stunning me in the process, they were breaking my blocks, I was unable to break their blocks, so it was horrible. But by adopting this strategy, I more or less fixed all my problems. Alright guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so already, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, and have an amazing rest of your day. Take care, guys.
Perfect.